What I'd like to do now is just share with you a couple of ideas to do with some counters and 10 frames. And the 10 frame is really just a tool to help children organise some of their thinking and to see some better visual patterns. So if you look down now, I've got two different configurations of a 10 frame, one with the green counters and one with the red counters. So let me just share the difference between those two. The one at the top, made up of green counters, shows 7, but you'll notice there that it's filled, the 5 top cells are filled first. So we're focusing on the 5-ness here, and then you can see there's 2 more, so that would give me the 7. Also, I'd like to focus the children on the fact that there are 3 empty spaces. So 7 and what makes 10. It starts to frame or develop their thinking. Compare that to this second 10 frame, and it's got the red counters on it. Now you'll notice that this has been filled in a slightly different way. So in this case here, it's been filled in what I'm going to call a pairwise way. This would be a 5-wise, this would be a pairwise way. In this case here, you start to see that it was filled with 2 and then another 2, then another 2 and 1. It's pretty obvious to see that 7 is an odd number because there's a bit sticking out. You can also see here that there are 3 empty spaces, so 7 and 3 makes 10. Some children might see 4 and 3 makes 7. Others might see 6 and 1. And others might see 2, 2, 2 and 1. They're all just different ways of thinking about using a 10 frame. Both ways are equally valid, and I really hate to prescribe one over another. I tend to like this one first simply because it does show that odd and evenness. The real power of a 10 frame, however, comes when you start putting 2 10 frames together. So let's just have a look at this in this example. So if we were doing something like adding 7 and 5, and I wanted to show what that looked like in a concrete representation here, well, you can see there's 7 counters there, it's framed up, there's 5 counters there, so 7 and 5. Well, then I'd start to move some of these counters. Now notice I've just used 2 different colours, counters, not mixed colours. I just stick to 2 colours. And you can start to see now that 7 and 5 suddenly becomes 10 and 2. And that helps children to think about particularly strategies like the build to 10 strategy and the bridge 10 strategy that you learn when you're adding 2 single-digit numbers.